What is going on, guys and gals? It's your boy J Love coming back at you with another video about non-CDL and CDL HOTSHOT, about trucking in general, medium duty hauling, all the goods. If you're new to the channel though, welcome to the channel, guys. I make videos about once a week, maybe. Kind of died down a little bit, but I make quality content, I believe. Anyways, if you don't believe, thank you for being here. Anyways, in this video, guys, we're going to be talking about Raj's third week on the road. That's right, he's been out for 3 weeks. This is his fourth week. He's about to crush his last week on the road, and I think we're definitely doing over 20,000 this month. So super good for him. You know, he's never done HOTSHOT before. He did a couple loads on like a 20-foot trailer for his company back in the day, but this is the first time he's ever, you know, gone full-fledged out there, you know, opened LLC, bought a new truck, bought a new trailer, 40-foot, the whole deal. So he's super happy with the results he's getting, and we're super happy to have him. He's a great guy, works super hard. But I want to first, you know, go over the loads that he's gotten this past week, because it was a big week for him. Kind of talk about how the week went, how the week was for dispatching and everything like that, and kind of show you guys why leasing on might be the way to go, especially if you're just starting out and you don't have any experience. Leasing on to a company that's already established a system may be a good idea for you. But if you do want to go and get your own authority and your own everything, that's perfectly fine as well, but you definitely have to have a good system in place. And you know, when I'm talking about systems, I'm always talking about my guy Kenneth with RTS Financial Services. Super awesome guy. He can hook you up with a really good fuel card with Fleet One and good factoring with RTS Financial Services. So give him a call below, tell him your boy J Love sent you, and he'll be able to hook you up. Also, you're going to need a ELD, electronic logging device. The one that I use is Keep Trucking. It's affordable, works really good. I've had minimal problems with it, and I haven't had a problem with anything with it in the last probably 6 months or so. It's been working super good for me. So I have a link below. If you click the link, buy through there, you'll get a discount. I also get a little bit of kickback on my end, so it'll work out super good for you guys. But yeah, guys, let's go over these loads and kind of talk about what the week looked like. The way I look at the week though, guys, is by drop off. So all the loads that were dropped off between a Monday through a Sunday period, okay? So if you pick a load up on Friday and then you don't drop it till Monday, it lands on the next week, okay? So Monday through Sunday drop off. So to start out, he picked up a load in Salt Lake City, Utah, I believe on Friday or Thursday. I don't remember 100%. But he took that to Fargo, North Dakota. That paid $2,550 on 1,117 miles. This load was pretty easy for him. I think it was 14,000 pounds. It was only about 15 feet, I think, and then it had to be tarped, obviously, going over there. But it was a good load for us, guys. I wasn't too hyped about going to Fargo, North Dakota. It's not the best area in the world, but I was happy to get out of Salt Lake like we did. And I've been to Fargo before. I've gotten out okay, but you know, just a general consensus, just a general thing to note. Don't go to North Dakota, okay? That's it. But, I mean, it paid good, man. $2,550 on 1,117 loaded miles. So it wasn't a bad load at all. So once we got to Fargo, guys, like I just said before, I didn't really want to go to Fargo, and there's a reason why, because there's not much freight. I was grinding the load boards trying to find a load for him, and it got to about 1 to 1:30. We actually found a load earlier in the day. I think it was going to Omaha, Nebraska, paying about $220 a mile, like $800. It wasn't bad at all. That load fell through though, and so it was pretty salty about that. But a banger load did pop up at about 1:30 p.m. going from Morris, Minnesota, which is about 80 miles from him, to Colorado Springs, Colorado, which is a little bit south from Denver. Again, I wasn't that hyped about going to Colorado Springs, Colorado, but it was a baller load. No tarp, $3,000 on 849 miles, guys. Super baller load. One of the loads that made the week really good. So he's able to pick that up on Monday. He delivered it on Wednesday, because we did pick it up pretty late in the day on Monday. He drove basically all day Tuesday and was there to deliver early morning Wednesday. So obviously, guys, we went to another area that was not that prosperous. Colorado Springs, Denver, Colorado. It's a hit or miss area, man. I mean, we get some good loads every now and then, but I've also left for crap. So we went up to Denver once we got there. And same thing, guys, I grinded the boards for about 3 hours, really watching, looking for the best loads possible. But it started getting pretty late, you know, and I did not want Rod to lose a day, because I knew we had the ability to have a big week, and I wanted the gross number to be there. So I found a load going from Denver, Colorado to Midland, Texas. Again, guys, not that good of an area. I know I'm trash. But I know that my diligence works, and we'll get good loads. But So Midland, Texas, paying $1,100 on 670 miles. So that was probably the worst paying load that we got. It was really only a couple pallets of PVC piping. That was pretty small. Maybe 1,000 pounds, something small. But that load you can consider, and I knew the brokers knew what non-CDL HOTSHOT was. They were trying to get some non-CDL guy to take that. I mean, still paid about $1.75 a mile. We still profited off the load, and noting that we did have a big load right before that, it was good to add this to the gross number, even though our profits weren't going to be exactly what we wanted them to be. So I picked up Denver, Colorado on Wednesday, dropped in Midland, Texas on Thursday. And then obviously we're in Midland, Texas then, guys. In Midland, Texas, again, not the best area possible, right? But we grind the boards, you know, and we end up finding a load a little bit later in the day, probably around like noon, going from Seagraves, Texas, which is about 80 miles from where he was, to Winsboro, Texas, which is right past Dallas. And I liked this load because it paid over $2 a mile. It was $1,000 on 468 miles. But the biggest thing I liked about this load was the fact that we were basically going to be in Dallas for Friday, and he wanted to go home over the weekend. He lives in southern Missouri, but you know, I wanted to put us in a good area, good situation to be able to get a good load over the weekend, but also be able to get him home, and we were able to do that. So that basically finished the week out, right? We dropped off in Winsboro on Friday, able to pick up another load and keep moving from there. But for that week, we had a total gross of $7,650 on 3,104 miles, with a rate per mile of $2.46 per mile, guys. So it was a really solid week for him. Even though we were operating in pretty bad areas, I would consider. I mean, I wish we were over in Chicago and over in these areas. But, you know, the biggest load that really saved us was that Morris, Minnesota to Colorado Springs, Colorado. And like I said, guys, I call myself the late day champion because we pick up them late day ballers, boys. Late day ballers. And that's why I consider that late day baller, boys. But you know, I really enjoy dispatching. It's a rush. It's adrenaline rush when you're picking up these good loads. It's also very stressful though. So it's like a mountaintop. You know, one day you're really good, next day you're kind of low, next day you're kind of up. You know what I'm saying? But guys, if you're in need of a dispatcher, if you don't know, we do have a dispatching company called Flash Dispatch Logistical Services. We work with new authorities. Right now, I have myself. I have my boy Trent. I have my boy Jacob. I have my boy Rob that we're training right now, and Trent has another friend that he's training right now because you know we've been working really hard. But my biggest thing, guys, is I don't want to have one dispatcher overloaded. I want one dispatcher to be able to help out 1, 2, maybe 3 trucks. But if they can handle more, obviously they'll get more. But if they can't handle it, they're just going to focus. Like I have one dispatcher that just works with 1 truck, and he's perfectly fine with that. But if you're looking for a dispatcher, hit up my email. I'm going to throw my email down below. Really, we do dispatch for non-CDL, but we ask that you have a 40-foot trailer if you are non-CDL, and you do have tarps. And mostly who we work with is newer authorities. Obviously, if you're not a new authority, no problem at all. I'd love to work with you. But if you're a new guy that just got on the road, like we have one dude, Jose, that just started out of Florida, man. I think he's 21. Just turned 21, man. Bought a 4500, bought a 40-foot trailer, had everything going. Tried to dispatch himself and was struggling. And I think he did $6,000 last week with us, which I mean is a good number for him. I mean, he's just brand new authority numbers. He's able to make money. So if you're in that boat, guys, and you're struggling, feel free to hit me up. FLLdispatch 64@gmail.com. But yeah, guys, just wanted to give this video to you guys. Hope you all have a great day, and we'll talk later.